Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hello, my friends. You're sitting on the roof here at Arunachala's feet. All around, everything is wet. Water is lying everywhere. But since we are not having any big river or lake nearby, there are no big floods here. Not everybody in Tamil Nadu is so lucky. Some places they are terribly flooded. People, please, Arunachala, turn the microphone off. Okay, good, thank you. Many people had to leave their home because of the floods. Not everybody made it. Also in Kerala, again, like already a number of years, big floods, landslides, people getting killed. Those who are killed, they are fine. They are out of the picture. But of course, those who remain, they are very sad. My heart goes out to all of them, suffering from the external circumstances. I send them love, I send them light. That's what I can do. That's my job. That's my job. Sending love, sending light. I hope you still can hear me, because I was informed by the computer that my connection is unstable. But it seems it still works. That brings me to the topic compassion. It's something that always causes a little doubt many times in people's mind. What is really compassion? Because obviously it's clear to everyone, if we see somebody suffer and it pulls us into suffering, we are not helping anyone. And yet often people mistake that for compassion. It looks so noble to feel miserable when we see that people are not well. But actually, it's simply letting oneself go into self-pity. First, we see something that is not nice, and then it quickly changes into feeling sorry for oneself to have to see that misery, and one becomes also miserable. Real compassion means something very different. It means that we can see the suffering of people, that we can see the suffering of living beings, but at the same time stay within your own center, stay within your own well-being. And from that position, something very beautiful can flow over from you to those who suffer. And that is compassion. We may do something about it, or we may not do something about it. It depends on circumstances. Many times we can't do anything. Sometimes it's clear we are being asked by the circumstances, do something about it. But the real compassion is not so much the external action, but really to see the suffering of people, the pain of living beings, at the same time remain unattached. Like that, we can help on a subtle level. Those who suffer, they may not always be aware of it, but nevertheless, it still works like that. That is compassion. All right, my friends. I'm asking you, is there anyone who would like to come in? You're welcome to come in, please. "29 people here. Is there anyone who would like to talk?" Staying with compassion.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Shreya.
Hello. I have a question about navigating change. I suppose generally in society we're all navigating change in terms of pandemic, and we've got restrictions easing here, and who knows what's going to happen with, you know, the rules and what the government decides next. But
Yes.
also for me personally, I'm likely to be moving states, changing jobs and moving states in the next couple of months. And
Yes.
so I would just like to hear what you have to say about navigating changes in life.
Yes. Of course, external, maybe you'll turn somehow the loudspeaker a bit less loud. Now it's good. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Of course, this kind of big changes in your external environment that sometimes may seem to be a little bit frightening. Sometimes it's very good to change the place, to change the job, to change the whole situation one lives in, if we remain conscious and relaxed about it. Just don't start to get stressed about it. You will find yourself at the right place, at the right time. There, where you can face the challenges that are best for your further unfoldment of your psyche, of your spirituality, of your love, of your divine being. So, if such a change is coming, don't look with fear, but look with courage and with a sense of adventure. Okay, fine, let's go for it. If we go like this positive, then we bring already from the beginning a very positive energy in the new situation. If we go with a lot of trepidation and, oh, what is going to happen, all these fears are there, then we're bringing already a negative energy to begin with, which rather facilitates that difficulties that are not necessary are being created. So go with a sense of adventure and with courage and see what comes out of it. Apart from the other circumstances that you cannot control, what next is the government going to decide? And I hear it's quite tough in Australia. Okay, you want to say something to it?
No, I'm happy with that. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. Wish you well. When are you going to change?
Thank you. Well, I think it will be January because the government won't let me in yet. So maybe next year, January.
Okay. Still some time.
Yes.
Okay. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Very on.
Is there anybody else who is ready to come in? You're welcome to come. It's good about the external circumstances to remind oneself this whole story is not as real as it appears. It's momentary real as an experience right now. But that reality that we are giving it by holding on to the past, anticipating the future, feeding the energy into it and making it concrete, that reality it doesn't really have. It's a magic show. It's a magic show constructed to give this consciousness the possibility to learn, to grow, to outgrow things. So whatever circumstances we are facing, and right now many people are facing very difficult circumstances, still it's good to remind oneself, okay, it's not as real as it appears to be. It's always a challenge for us to learn, to grow, to outgrow old limitations. And if we can develop a playful attitude about it, it's going so much easier. We have the tendency to take everything much too serious. Ourselves, what happens immediately around us, and what we hear, what is happening in the world. It's all a divine play. We live in it, we learn in it, we play in it, we unfold, the consciousness unfolds, essentially remaining the same, unfolding in wisdom, unfolding in experience. That's what we are here for. That's what this whole construction is for. Is there anybody who would like to talk? You're welcome to come in.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Liora,
Hi.
Leila.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So what was the last sentence of what you just said now? We are
What?
here for. You spoke about the...
Yes, we are here
What was the last sentence?
to learn, to grow, to outgrow old limitations. That's what this whole construction is for, was my last sentence. That's
Yeah.
what this whole Leela, this magic show of a world is for.
Yeah, you said it so many times before. So when do I know that? How? Like it's very difficult to. I understand it. I mean, I believe you. I would say I believe you. And somehow I do feel that more and more I take things less seriously. But I don't feel I connect to this. I don't know if it's an idea or theory or I don't know what name to give to it. But whatever you just said. I don't feel I can connect to it from my heart or from my from my belly.
Yeah. I can understand. It's, of course, you can believe me, and that can be helpful if you remind yourself in difficult situation, hey, don't take it so serious. It's not as real as it appears, but still the tendency is to take it very serious and to take it very real.
Yeah.
And you asked, when do I know it? It's not something that lays in your hand. It's like grace falls on you and suddenly say, oh, damn it. It is really like a dream. I mean, I have been for a long time telling myself, hey, it's all a dream, it's all a dream. But then in the circumstances being pulled totally into the reality of it. And there came the moment, the one moment, and it was like, damn it, it's really not real. It's really like a dream. First I got angry. How could you fool me like this? But of course, that's our ignorance. Nobody fools us, but we fool ourselves. And we can't help it because we grow up and are being conditioned by the growing up how to perceive, how to think, how to feel, how to take reality, how to deal with it. So that conditioning is so strong that we keep on that mystic reality alive, and then suddenly it may drop off and you become aware, hey, come on, the whole is a big game. But it helps to think like this. It helps in difficult, intense situation to remember, hey, come on, take it a bit easier. Don't take it so serious. Then we can already relax to some extent and really learn to take things less serious. As you said, it is happening with you.
Yeah, it is happening with me, and yes, my body has its own rhythm.
Yeah.
So my body reacts in its habits.
Right.
So I have all kinds of health reactions.
Yes. Yes.
Now it's herpes. So all the time I get herpes, and then my therapist, my acupuncturist, she asked me, had something happened? And I said, well, and then I tell her something happened, you know, but of course it's not. So my body still reacts to the story, to the tension, whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I can feel that something in me does not react to it, but still my body reminds me, hold on, you have to be more somehow integrated. I mean, the parts of what I call me, maybe something about integration, I'm not sure. And parts of me understand, parts don't understand.
Right. And it's, even if you tell yourself, even if you remind yourself, hey, come on, relax, relax, don't take it so serious. Out of old habit, a part will still take it serious. And then it may put things in motion that after that manifests physically. And the body is always slower than the rest.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good, okay.
You mentally, you are faster in letting go things, but the body is always a bit coming behind.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
The dip. Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Good to know. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Werner.
You're welcome. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Take care. Bye bye.
Hari Om. Bye. Is there anybody else who would like to come in? You're welcome.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Patrick.
I have a following question about what to take serious. Is there something that I have to take still serious?
Serious.
Serious.
Yeah. That you are. Take that serious. But not serious in the sense that it should be something that is creating attention. That's the only thing that you really cannot doubt. You cannot reasonably ask, am I? Because you have to be there to ask the question. You are. There can be no doubt about it. Everything else can be doubted. Is it real? Is it unreal? Is it something I'm making up in my mind? Is something that my senses are just playing to me? You can everything doubt, but you cannot doubt, am I? Not reasonably. That's the only serious thing in it.
And in a practical way, I have to manage some things in my life. Is this not better when I take this serious?
You can do your best. You can pick up a challenge and do the thing that you want to do as good as you can. But if you can keep a light attitude, if you can keep a playful mood in it, then it's much easier. It's, if we take it serious in the sense that we think, oh, I have to succeed, it has to be perfect, it has to be good, then we are always creating a lot of tension that makes everything more difficult. If you can go for it more as an adventure, think, okay, I'm putting in my creativity, I'm putting in my energy, I'm putting in what I have. It may work, it may not work. It's not in my hands whether it always works out the way I think. And keep a playful spirit in it, then actually also the practical things, they are much easier to deal with. It's not so, that's a false idea that we have to think, I have to take it very serious in order to do my things properly. When we take things very serious, then we create so much tension that we are reducing our energy, we are reducing our creativity. If we can go about it more playfully, then we are much fresher and it flows much easier.
Thank you. And when I have to decide in which things I have to put my energy, is this my decision or is this not my decision?
It's your decision and it's also not your decision. You're to play your game as if you decide. But many times things are being arranged. We think we decide, but actually it has been decided. Still, from moment to moment, you act as if you can decide, knowing that there are forces that are stronger than my decision. And if it has to be, it will turn out differently.
Thank you very much, Werner.
You're welcome. Hari Om. Hari
Hari
Om.
Om.
Is there anybody else who would like to come in? You're welcome. Let's go back to what I said to Leora. I said the body is always slower. She was a bit surprised. But that's how it is. On this material level, things are moving slower. Everything is a bit more sticky. It's always that we first mentally let go of tensions. It's always that we first mentally see old patterns, see through them, and seeing them clearly can start to work on them, that they lose their power. And it's like the body always needs time to adjust. And because of that, from the physical level, the pull is strong to slip into the old patterns again and again. It's like we have it imprinted in our cells. And they can change. It's not that what is imprinted in the body is there to stay forever. But even if we start to see through things mentally, if we start to consciously let go, the body just takes longer. The body just takes longer to change the imprints that we have in ourselves. But it can be changed if we are patient, if we are persistent. Even deep-rooted old stuff that is not easy to deal with can be changed. Deep-rooted old stuff that creates suffering again and again, and it's becoming very clear we have to change them. But out of old habit, and it's not only a mental habit, but it's like the body has been used to function like this, and the body will pull the attention, has the tendency to pull the attention back into the old grooves again and again. It's the easiest for the body to function again and again and again in the same way. And so, even if we see things and consciously work on it, it may just take some time until the whole psychophysical being is ready to change. It's like the body is always a bit slower and has the tendency to make things a bit more difficult and stickier. But nevertheless, anything that is there, that we see, is not wholesome. It's always leading to pain. It can be changed. Patience is persistent, no doubt about it. Okay, I'm asking again. Is there anybody who would like to come in? You're welcome.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Nelly.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify something about meditation and activity.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it, and I wanted to ask you: is it enough to, when I do something, is it enough if I try to be attentive with what I do, whatever I do, maybe driving or cutting vegetables or anything else, or I should watch? I watch my breath and my body in my activity, because if I try to do attentive in my work, in something that I do, I see that I put attention on the object, on the external object. But if I try to watch my breath or my body, I put attention on myself, and it is more difficult. And I want to ask you, what is right to do? What is better to try to do? Just to be attentive, or try to put my attention on myself?
I mean, everybody has to find their own way. It's not that this is a duty that you have, that apart from being attentive, you should also do something else. But if you develop that habit of doing so, then it's a great help. It can be watching the body, it can be doing self-inquiry, it can be repeating a mantra, it can be watching the breath, consciously breathing. these kind of things, of course, when we have not a habit of doing so, then it seems like it's a extra effort. But if we do it again and again, it becomes very effortless and is a great help to keep your attention in the present and be attentive. Attentive is the crucial factor, and the other is a help. So don't look at it that you have to do so as a duty that makes the whole thing different, more difficult. But just every now and then come back, watch your breath. Be attentive what you are doing, at the same time watch your breath and relax.
Okay.
It's not that you have to try to force yourself to continuously do so. It will gradually come easier and easier by itself. But every now and then, you just do it for a moment. Yes.
Yeah, I see. And I thought about consciousness and being connected and something else I forgot. So and being in here and now, is it the same, or is it something different between these things? To be connected, it means to be here and now.
Yes.
And
exactly.
to be conscious, is it the same?
Yes, it means that you are awake. After all, you are always here and now. But with our attention, we can fly around anywhere, in the past, in the future, in fantasy worlds, to create all kinds of castles, and missing the living moment. We cannot be anywhere else but in the here and now, really. But with our attention, we can fly off in all kinds of places. So being conscious, consciously conscious, being connected, being here and now, basically it means all the same.
Yes. And I thought one more thing. I thought if someone does very a work that needs a lot of attention, for example, a surgeon makes an operation or something like this, yeah, and it means that he should be here and now, and yeah, he should be conscious, yeah. But does it mean that he is connected with himself if he does, if he pays attention on the object, on the someone else? Yeah.
If somebody is really concentrated, like a surgeon in a difficult part of the operation, then without being aware of it, they are connected with their own self. Somebody who is really strongly connected, concentrated. Through that concentration, then your mind doesn't go off left and right and think about yesterday and tomorrow, but is really in the moment. Simply, they are not quite aware of it, but still it's doing them good. Anyone who is doing work and is very concentrated in the work, it's making them unfold, it's making them grow. If on top of that, they can do that consciously, they will get even much more out of it.
Consciously, you mean if he observe his breath or body, or
if he is at all aware that concentration brings the attention back to the now and connects with the self, or if it's a total focus on the object only, it still has a very good effect. But if that awareness is there, that concentration actually is connecting with the self, then it's doing even much more.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, Werner. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Is there anybody else who would like to come? You're welcome. Staying with the subject concentration. On many spiritual approaches, people going through a whole path, step by step by step, doing very specific exercises, learning to concentrate more and more. Because concentration is really helping to bring the attention back to the now. One can get a bit too much absorbed in these exercises, in the external nature of it. I mean, you can do all kinds of concentration exercises. They are very helpful. But if the awareness is always there, okay, it's a help, it's a means to connect with the self, to be consciously alive now, then the concentration will bring even much more than if we are just doing the concentration exercises. The Tibetans, they do these visualizations. Others also are doing visualization. It's very helpful as a concentration exercise. And if that concentration is consciously connecting with the divine, it's great, it's wonderful. And they are training and training and training to visualize that master who has been doing that for a long time. They are capable of visualizing like the Tibetan paintings, a picture with all the many different details. These are great mental powers. They are very helpful. Absolutely nothing wrong with developing that, but one can also get too much absorbed in that and lose the vision why we are doing so. It's good to be aware all these concentration exercises, they are helps, they are for the purpose of learning to be with the attention in the now, and in the now connecting with God, with yourself, with reality. When that awareness is there, all these concentration exercises, they are much more valuable than if one just learns to concentrate more and more and more. Still, they have a good effect, but it's then like a bit a roundabout way. If we forget why we are doing so, why it makes sense to do so. All right. Is there anybody else who would like to come in? Please come.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Moksha.
Hi, man. I sometimes don't hear you good. Is it my connection or other people has it also? I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. I don't know. Let somebody tell whether they can hear me properly. Can anybody come in and tell whether you also have difficulties to hear me not well?
Yes, most time I hear you very good.
Yeah. So
and
Yeah,
good
yeah,
enough anytime.
Sometimes I don't hear you.
sometimes
It's
you
not
don't
so
hear.
good. Not so good.
Not so good. Okay, I'm coming a bit closer to
I
the.
hear you well.
Yeah. So I came a bit closer to
I
the.
hear you well.
Now I'm closer to the microphone. What's the?
Yeah, it seems that it is the connection. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so good.
Yeah, the computer also has told me my connection is fluctuating.
Yeah. Okay, then it's there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Werner, what I want to say is the relaxation I am really connected with is like, I was looking, why is it in Tiruvannamalai so beautiful for me? And I found out that because I feel really yes there, and my whole normal stuff is not there, so I just actually I have a yes to the whole thing. And then I saw, if I am here having this same attitude, it is almost Tiruvannamalai in Germany also.
Yes.
And another nice trick came up yesterday. I was in the city busy with all kinds of things in the parking place and blah, blah, blah. And suddenly came, hey, if you really want to be here, how it is now, even in this traffic jam and in this, all this stuff, IKEA, blah, blah, blah. There came a picture, if you put your chair here, like in the sun, and you have this attitude here, and directly it was great.
Yes.
It is really the mental stuff we talking to ourselves. That is what makes the problem, and that makes the situation nice or horrible, right?
Right, right. You can learn to let go, to relax in the weirdest situations.
that is really my what takes my attention the last times, that it is really, hey, relax. And then this picture came in every situation. If it comes up like, no, terrible, the picture, my chair in the sun, behave now if you sit on your chair in the sun in this situation.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Good. Whatever trick helps is good.
Yeah, sometimes these tricks comes spontaneously and it is really amazing, huh?
Yeah, right.
And I see also, like, I don't know what you think about it, what you say about it, is like, if relaxation is in the moment there, then with me, I see directly the awareness is there also.
Yes.
If I'm relaxed, there is, yeah, I don't know which way it goes. If first is the relaxation there, or then the awareness, or if first the awareness and there, or it mixed, but it seems really strong connected.
Yes.
Can you say something about it?
Yes, they are strong connected. And sometimes you may first think, look how I'm tense. So, hey, come on, relax. Or just as you say, then you find your trick with your chair in the sun and you relax. So the awareness is first there and then the relaxation comes. But sometimes just spontaneously you relax and immediately it also increases your awareness of the present. The two are very strongly connected.
Sometimes this easy trick.
Now
Not so
I
long.
don't, yet now I hear again.
Okay, yeah, so change, huh?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it was really to see, and what you were speaking also sometimes about it, like people say, oh, interior phenomenality is so great.
Mhm.
Yeah, wait, if you are interior phenomenality and your normal daily life comes there, then it can happen the same as in Germany, right?
Exactly.
So better I start in Germany than to wait only on the nice time in Tiruvannamalai.
Right. Of course, it's often very helpful to go to a place you have already basically a very positive attitude towards that place. You get out of your usual day-to-day life with all the duties and come to a place where not everybody wants something from you, and you can easier relax. And then, of course, the place is also special, but your attitude is much more important, even when the place is special. That can be very helpful to come and stay in such a place for some time and then go back, but then bring that attitude as good as you can in your old environment. And then, as you said in the beginning, if you really do that, then it's also in Germany like being in Tiruvannamalai.
It's really nice. I walk sometimes here in the nature, and there is a path. It reminds me a little bit on Tiruvannamalai. It's pretty dry and blah blah blah. And then I suddenly also came up. Why is it here different as in Tiruvannamalai? Stop. And then it was almost the same like in Arunachala.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to experience this.
Yes, nice, wonderful. Of course, it's the same. Essentially, it's the same everywhere. You are the same everywhere. The essence of whatever is the same everywhere. It's manifesting energetically differently from one place to another, but still, essentially, it's the same. And the more you touch the essence, the more it is the same, even for the experience.
Also, this is not real. I am always with who is seeing this. And if I look, what is really here, then all is changing all the time. So nothing is fixed. Only the awareness of this. And then in that moment, it is clear that you cannot take it serious in that moment. Because it is changing all the time. How can I take something serious that is changing all the time?
Yes.
But in a memory, it is in the old stuff, there it feels fixed. And there it looks really real.
Right.
Right, huh?
That's where we are creating the fixed, hard reality in the memory. After all, what is happening at the present moment, our experience of the world is we have 5 avenues of information, the 5 senses. We see, we smell, we hear, we taste, we touch. And these 5 avenues of information give information, and we are creating a picture out of all that. Look, I'm sure you're familiar with, it's now not more so popular, but the 3-dimensional computer produced pictures that are on one sheet. And if you focus your eye properly, a three-dimensional picture comes out. The trick is that there are lines and lines of patterns, and they are near identical, and that you put the one eye on one line and the other eye on the other line, and then it produces a picture. Now, there is no three-dimensional picture there on that sheet, and yet you can perceive it, and the other one can also perceive it. If he has two good eyes, we need two eyes for that. That's it. But then just from the slightly different input of one eye and the other eye in our brain, we are producing a three-dimensional picture. Now, is that picture real or is it not real? I can see it. My friend can also see it. Is it now real? No, there is nothing on that sheet. And yet we can still see it. And in a way, our world experience is like experiencing that three-dimensional picture. We are, except that it's not on the, with the three-dimensional picture, it's on the same level through one avenue, but two slightly different informations. And we have 5 avenues like this. And there, out of that information, we are producing our reality picture. It's like that three-dimensional picture.
But if you are in the moment, the picture is all the time changing every moment.
Yes, continuously.
So how can you, if you look in the moment, you cannot say it is like this, because then it is changed already again. So
gone.
what kind of what kind of reality is that?
Yeah.
It is like air.
Yeah.
But what is really fixed here always is the awareness that is completely always there.
That which makes the experience possible. That
It's
is
amazing, huh?
It's amazing. The experience the experience has its split second reality, because it's in the focus of the awareness, but then as soon as you put the finger on it, it's already gone.
Amazing, huh?
It's amazing.
And from there it is, oh really? Yeah, this in the moment, in the splits moment, it is real. I see it, but yeah, just for the split moment. And why take it so serious? It is only if it's only a split moment, then I cannot take it serious. But if in the memory, it feels like it is really true. It is like this and this and this.
Yes.
And this is the problem, like with my ex-wife, then there's the whole past memory come up. Oh, she is like this. Yeah. It feels like she was always like this and she will always be like that. And it's completely nonsense. But if I'm not aware, it feels like it is like this. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful. You look very good, Werner.
Yes. I'm getting better. Like with the other things I said, the body is a bit slower. So
I feel the same.
Physically, I'm slowly the energy comes back, but it's not quite so. But otherwise, that darkness that has been troubling me, that was in the system, is really disappeared.
Yeah, I can see it. It looks really, I'm very happy to see.
Yeah.
And thank you very much, Werner. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Is there anybody else who would like to come? You're welcome to come in.
Yes. Hello, Werner.
Hello, Lutz.
Hello.
You just said that we get the input through the 5 avenues, the 5 senses, and that kind of creates our reality, or we take that as a reality, what comes through these 5 senses.
Yes.
But I think there's one other avenue which is also all the time there, which is the kind of direct perception with the consciousness. That means actually there's nothing, but somehow something is coming to us, some feeling or some ideas or whatever. And that also influences the way we interpret this, what we experience now.
Good.
And what my question actually is, or what I wanted to ask you your opinion about it, is the influence of ancestors or some kind of beings which are attached to us, which we cannot clearly identify, but still they make they create an influence on our behavior and our whole experience of the world here. I want to illustrate that with a little incident in my life, in order to make it more clear what I want to say.
Yes.
I was with your brother, the one who lived in Brazil for some time, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was with him. I was in his house. I was living in his house for some days, and now he had a pistol from his grandfather or his father. Anyway, some kind of 1910 old pistol, and he was showing it to me.
Yes.
And I don't know how this came about, but anyway, he was showing that pistol to me, and I was looking at that pistol. And the moment I looked at that pistol, I felt as if somebody who has been always behind me came forward through me somehow, got very excited and wanted to grab that pistol. It was a very kind of eerie or unusual experience. But I was thinking later, what the hell was that? Because it was quite overwhelming. It was really like somebody took possession of me and wanted to touch that pistol. So it seems there was something which got very excited about this pistol. So I was wondering, who was that? What was happening here? It was just a few seconds, this whole thing. But for a long time, I was thinking about what is going on here. And after some time, I remembered that my grandfather, who died on the Eastern Front, might have been all the time with me, and suddenly kind of seen that pistol from his time or something like that. I was kind of, I made that up, but I somehow I needed something to explain this mysterious thing. So what I'm asking is, are our ancestors all the time with us and kind of influencing our life? How do you experience that?
No, the ancestors are not hanging out with you all the time. they are gone, and wherever they are gone. Maybe sometimes from there they can come back and do some kind of things, positive or negative. But as previous I have today been talking about our upbringing, how it has been imprinting ourselves physically. And it seems that we also get a certain imprint from our ancestors that are being given over from generation to generation, that the cells that we are inheriting, we are from the father and the mother, half and half, we are getting the DNA from them. And somehow we are also through them getting a certain imprint in our cell already, which comes from the experience from the ancestors, which are there lurking, and when it's a possibility, they may come up or they may constantly influence ourselves. But as we can get rid of the imprint that we have created while growing up through the conditioning of the society, when we see tendencies, and even if we feel they are maybe old, they may be coming from our ancestors, and we don't like those tendencies, we can change that imprint. It's not that they must have power over us all the time, but it's not so that the ancestors hang around you all the time and try to do things with you.
No, I mean, I'm not experiencing that in such a kind of strong way.
Yeah.
But momentarily, sometimes something is happening, and I get some strong emotions about something, and I don't know why I'm actually so excited about that.
Yeah,
it makes no real sense. So
I mean, I don't know whether your explanation is true, but it may very well, in that example that you had given, have some kind of influence, that something like that was there coming from your grandfather. I don't know. I cannot say. Right, you are right. When I was saying about the 5 avenues, then I was talking about creating our physical reality. But then, of course, there is also the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual input that is also contributing to our experience all the time. There are more dimensions than simply the physical that we get through the 5 senses. Nelly, please turn your microphone off. You're interfering. So, can you say something, Lutz, that you come
Yes.
back?
Yeah.
There you are. You are back in the picture. There, with the 5 inputs, I was talking about the physical reality that we take so real, which is a picture that is changing, as Moksha said, changing all the time, and we are creating it. If our senses were a little different, then our physical reality would look very different also. If we have a different way of seeing things, then our reality would look very different. But of course, for our experience from moment to moment, there is also the connection with the spirit, with many things, that it's more complex than simply the 5 avenues.
So how going back to the magic of Tiruvannamalai, why or how it happens that we can still feel that some holy people have lived there? How this holds on to the place? I mean, there have been people who did an intense practice and who have been kind of very egoless and very connected to the whole, and they live there, and still we can feel that. So how is it holding there? Or and that's, I think, the main thing why we like to go to Tirunamalai, because we can easily tune in to that. Whereas here in Germany, for example, everybody is thinking all sorts of things, but not pondering the self, or not meditating or something.
Right. So you're exactly right. It makes it easier. You can also in Germany, of course, tune in, but you have to work a bit more through murky stuff that is influencing it. I cannot tell you what is the mechanism, how this is holding on, but it's simply a fact that people like Ramana Maharshi who come here, they have benefited from all the old tapasvis, the old siddhas, the old yogis that have been living there in their practice, and in turn, with their intense and pure life, enriching their place even further. Ask me not how this is exactly functioning. It's simply a fact that it's there. I don't know how it's holding on. So places where people worship, also in the West, anywhere, places where people come together and with some sincerity worship, there builds up an energy that makes it easier to connect in that place than when you are outside on the road where it's very busy. So how exactly the mechanism of that is, that I don't know. It's simply a fact that we can observe that is there.
But it's actually it's a nonsense question now, how it holds on. But I felt that this is also making a big contribution how we experience life.
Yes.
If we go to a place where it is very pure, then even if we feel uneasy and not centered and everything, we will get a little more centered. And if we are in a place which is very busy and noisy and whatever, then it's very difficult to be in the here and now and be very quiet and all these things. So the nonsensical atmosphere influences us also greatly how we experience life.
Right. But it works also, of course, also the other way. The more you are connecting, the more you are in the present and consciously conscious, the more you are influencing whatever is going on around you. So in a way, we are doing the greatest service by really being conscious, being connected, because immediately it starts to radiate something beautiful in the surroundings that will have an effect on that.
Okay.
Okay, shall we leave it at that for today?
Yeah.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Is there anybody else who would like to come in? Okay, I'll stay for a moment with what I said just totally now at the end of the conversation with Lutz. Of course it's helpful. It's good if we can seek out places that are beneficial, that help us to connect. But at the same time, it also shows us what kind of good we can do, not only for ourselves, but for the surroundings, for the other people, for the world, by really sincerely learning to live in tune with reality, in tune with the divine. Because like that we get help in places where people have been doing just that, in the same way, whenever we do that, and even if we are attempting it, no matter whether we are fully successful or not, the very attempt is already doing something. So it's not often people who turn spiritual and are less and less interested in social life and stuff are being accused of being selfish. But actually, it's the most unselfish way of spending your time, your life, to really focus your energy on being connected with the self consciously, on connecting with the divine, of being in harmony. Because you, of course, are the first who are benefiting doing so, but at the same time, it does something to the place where you live. It does something to the surroundings, and ultimately it's connected with the whole. So we are doing the greatest service by learning to be consciously conscious, by learning to be ourselves. All right. Is there anybody else who would like to come in? Since this is not immediately the case, then I think let us stop the official part of the satsang for today. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.